Alright, this is Derek Newcomer. I'm excited to share with you guys a story from this past weekend that I went through and just learned some, or reinforced some values in me and why it's so important to come alongside each other and be accountable and empower each other, teach each other from experiences, and pass on value, and pass on accountability, and pass on empowerment. Without each other, we cannot accomplish what we want to accomplish. We need to be able to align ourselves with people who think like we or us, with people who are driven, with people who will keep us accountable, and empower us to taste victory, to taste achievement, to taste a goal. I ran in a race this past weekend, 7.5 mile trail race, pretty tough race. You run up over a mountain, back down, across the ridge, back down the other side of the mountain, 7.5 miles. Pretty tough race. It's part of a series. It's called the Cinnamahone Ultra Marathon. There's an ultra marathon. It's 50 kilometers. There's a 25 kilometer, and there's a 12 kilometer, 7.5 miles. I signed up for the 7.5 miler. Figured it was a good training race. So my father signed up with me. He's a runner as well, and this is the first year they've had this race. So as a whole, there was only 12 runners signed up for this race. As a whole, there were 60 runners, I believe, between all three distances. In my distance, there was 12. And we looked down through the participant list, and it looked like I could probably win. I had a great chance of winning. Out of 12 people, I had a great chance of winning this 7.5 mile trail race. So we're like, all right, awesome. Obviously I'll have to work still, but it's all right. Let's go out. Let's win this thing. So the race started, and my dad's there running with me. Keep in mind, my dad's 62 as well. Hasn't been running as frequently as he normally has, but he's still in amazing shape for a 62-year-old. And first lesson I really thought about yesterday, and I learned from my dad, ran the course the previous week as well. So he was already familiar enough, had already been through the exact course that I wanted to go through and wanted to achieve and wanted to beat and wanted to win. He was willing to go before me and see the course and conquer the course. So he could fill me in as we ran on what was coming. There's 2 more hills coming. We've got to push through these hills, then we got it down, then we're going to finish. So my dad was willing to go before me and set that pace and show me what was ahead. And then there was another guy I'd never met before in my entire life. His name was Ryan Andrews. Now, my dad and I were out in front of this race for all the way through probably mile 5.5 to 6. And we were out in front, and we saw there was this guy probably 50 to 100 yards behind us, kind of fairly through the whole race. So I was kind of keeping an eye on him, because I wanted to win. I was keeping an eye on him. And as we were coming down the hill, right about mile 6, he caught us. And he started chatting it up with my dad. And I'm kind of 5 or 6 steps ahead of him, and I'm thinking, really? I'm working my tail off, and this guy's just chatting it up. So I was like, all right, I'm really gonna have to work if I want to win this, because I figured he'd pass me and take the victory. And so, but he stayed back there. He stayed back there chatting up with my dad, and we came out of the mountain back onto the main road, and the main road that hooked up to a rail trail, which was the last probably mile or 3/4 of a mile to the finish. And I'm listening to them chatting up, and this dude, Ryan Andrews, just got done with a marathon the weekend before. And he was in the process of trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon, which if you're a runner, is very difficult. You have to be in good running shape to qualify for the Boston. So all of this stuff is playing with my head. Okay, this guy's in great run. This guy's in good running shape. He's right on my tail. He's talking it up. I'm working my butt off. So what's going to happen? About 3/4 of a mile from the finish, he says, I'm just going to stay here with you guys. I'm going to stay on your heels. I'm going to push you through to the finish. I'm like, really? So with about 3/4 of a mile left, I just turned around and was like, go, man. Just if you got in, you go. I was going to try to stick with him, and I wasn't going to obviously quit until the finish. But he's like, no, I'm going to stick right here with you and push you through the finish. So this guy, Ryan Andrews, this guy empowered me. He stuck on my heels the whole race. He stuck with me the whole entire race. He could have passed me whenever he wanted. I would have worked my tail off to keep up, but I could tell how hard he was working versus I could feel how hard I was working. He could have taken me and passed me anytime he wanted. But he stuck with me on my heels and pushed me through to the finish. He kept me accountable to the race, make sure I gave 110%, did not quit, and he enabled me to win that race. I'll post a picture of my winning plaque along with this video. And I was kind of ticked at first. I was like, he let me win. You know, I would have rather lost than have let him win, but as I was thinking about it and realizing, one, the sacrifice, I never met this dude in my life. And he was willing to give up his spot to push me through, to see me do my best that I possibly could. He was willing to sacrifice that for me and keep me accountable and true to the race. That was, I thought, was amazing. I'll post a picture of the three of us as well, my dad, myself, and Ryan Andrews. But anyways, two fabulous lessons. When you give, don't always expect something in return. That's an essence of, to a certain degree, what life is about, is giving and empowering others to get what they want. If you help enough people get to what they want, you will get what you want. If you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Also, be willing to go first. As my dad did, be willing to go first, blaze the trail, and teach. And also be willing to sacrifice and give something up to let somebody else have that growth and that victory and that experience. Live for others. Keep those goals that you have in front of you, but live for others and challenge and push others and bring them alongside you so you can be victorious together. Derek Newcomer.